Let's try the new premium economy class on SWISS International Airlines. We're flying from Zurich, Switzerland to Chicago O'Hare in the US on the Boeing 777-300ER. That's the flagship of the Swiss fleet. The scheduled duration is around 10 hours. Welcome to the Basel SBB train station. We're going to jump aboard the intercity train over to Zurich. As we make our way to the airport by train, let's talk about the concept of premium economy. It's a cabin class between regular economy and business class. When executed correctly, it features unique seats that typically offer more legroom and recline than regular economy class seats. It also offers better catering. Premium economy is distinct from things like Economy Plus or Economy Extra. With those products, you typically get just the same economy class seat, but with more space or with a better meal. At least that's how Swiss describes their product, as a true premium economy product, not just Economy Plus. Welcome aboard this intercity train over to Zurich. I made myself comfortable here in the first class compartment. There were some issues with this flight, and they start already at online check-in. I wasn't able to complete the process from my profile on Swiss.com where my booking was saved. It also wouldn't save my frequent flyer number. These are things that should just work. As is typical for US-bound flights, I did not get an electronic boarding pass. Instead, I just got an online check-in confirmation email. I'll have to go to the counter at Zurich Airport, and there's gonna be a problem there as well. Just wait. Welcome to Zurich main station. The train over to Zurich Airport is gonna depart from track number 32 right there behind me. I just have to take the escalators down to the platform. Welcome to my channel, Markus Travels. I paid for this trip myself so that you get a non-sponsored and authentic travel review. You can learn more about the Swiss Premium Economy product with the link in the description below. One thing I did not pay for, by the way, is advance seat reservation. That would have been a ridiculous 75 Swiss francs, about $83 US, just to pick a seat. No thanks. Welcome to the Interregio train over to Zurich Airport. I made myself very comfortable here in the first class compartment on the upper deck. The train ride from Zurich main station to Zurich Airport is only around 10 minutes. The trains arrive just under the airport. Swiss has check-in desks right here above the tracks. This is very convenient. I checked in the main compartment of my Osprey backpack and took the day pack as hand luggage. The premium economy ticket comes with 2 checked bags and 1 carry-on. Welcome to Zurich Airport. I checked in check-in area number 3 downstairs by the train station. Now it's time to go through security and get over to the lounge. Zurich really is a lovely airport. One thing that I love about this place is that there's actually a kind of a shopping mall here. I needed to pick up a new battery for my microphone, and I was able to do that in a regular grocery store just there behind me. Instead of paying inflated airport prices for that battery, I got the pleasure of paying inflated normal Swiss prices in a grocery store. That baggage allowance is worth keeping in mind when you look at the price and the value offered by the premium economy product. We'll dive deeper into that at the end of the video. The other check-in area Swiss uses is check-in 1. It's on street level. You'd go here if you'd arrive by car. They've recently renovated check-in 1, and I think it looks great. It's only when I see a waiting area like this that I realize, why doesn't every airport have this at check-in? It just calms the place down. There's also a special dedicated check-in area for high-tier status and first-class passengers. The intercontinental flights from Zurich Airport leave from Dock Echo. That's a separate building, and it's located outside the Schengen passport-free area. So you'll have to go through passport control to get there. I fly from Zurich Airport a lot. I've never seen the line this long. Usually, getting through passport control is a minute or 2. Note to self, don't travel on holiday weekends. After passport control, the Heidi train will take you to the other side. At this time there was construction in the terminal. Maybe that's what caused the lines. The premium economy ticket on Swiss does not get you access to any lounges. I stopped by the Swiss Senator Lounge thanks to my Star Gold status. I was there just long enough to realize you should not walk and drink Prosecco at the same time. Welcome to the Swiss Senator Lounge over here at the E-Gates. I'm a mess. Look, I spilled all over myself. Is this going to dry in time for the actual flight review? Let's find out. This is the kind of live, hard-hitting, real-life travel reviews right here on Markus Travels. I've covered this lounge before. It is one of my favorite places, if for no other reason than that they have over 200 whiskeys in the Whiskey Club, all free for anybody who visits the lounge. Also, I did a live stream from this phone booth while I was here. Subscribe to be notified the next time I go live from the lounge. The replay from this one is also linked in the description below. In order to access the gate area, there is a secondary documents check at these movable counters. They let me through right away, but they should not have done that. You'll find out why very soon. Welcome to the gate area for the US-bound flights. I had to go through an extra passport control in order to get into this section, but that was very quick and efficient. Now, let's wait for the boarding to start for this flight over to Chicago on Swiss in premium economy. Our Boeing 777-300ER is already waiting for us at the gate. Boarding is organized by groups. Premium economy is boarding group 3, whereas regular economy is groups 4 to 6. I'm on my way to gate Echo 22 and boarding should start in approximately 5 minutes. Because of my Star Gold status, I got group 2 boarding today, but I was not able to board.
Can you please go back to security control, sir? They overlooked something.
My boarding pass had the dreaded 4 S's on the bottom right. That means Selective Secondary Security Screening. I've gone through the secondary screening many times and being selected for it is not a problem at all. But I did not notice the 4 S's on the boarding pass until I was at the gate. What should have happened, in my opinion, is that the check-in agent should have highlighted to me that I have to plan some extra time for a secondary security check. Also, at the document check counter, the lady should have sent me through to the secondary screening, which was right there next to the documents check desk, instead of letting me through to the normal gate area. This was not a great customer experience by Checkport, the company that operates the documents checkpoint. Going through a secondary security screening this close to boarding was stressful. It also reminded me of previous negative experiences with a secondary screening at this very terminal. The premium economy cabin is laid out in a 2+4+2 configuration as opposed to 3+4+3 for the regular economy cabin. Premium economy on Swiss is not a separate cabin, it's just the first 3 rows of the economy cabin. In total, there are 24 premium economy seats. My seat at this stage was seat 20 Alpha. Swiss calls this a windowless window seat. That's because the window in the emergency exit door is tiny. It is a bulkhead seat, so the legroom is outstanding. Waiting on the seat are a pillow and a blanket, headphones and a bottle of water, and a basic amenity kit. Inside the kit we have earplugs, a dental kit, and an eye shade. The crew hands out non-alcoholic welcome drinks. This elderflower drink was really tasty, and I ended up having more of it later on the trip too. At this point I realized that there are empty seats in the next row. I asked to move to 21 Golf, an aisle seat, just so that I can film without disturbing the passenger next to me. What I lose in legroom, I gain in an empty chair next to me. Welcome aboard this Swiss flight in premium economy. I made myself comfortable here in seat number 21 Golf. That empty seat next to me makes a huge difference because these seats don't really have any meaningful storage. Now I could keep my camera on the empty seat. The premium economy seat features a nice big screen. There's a coat hook here too, and the water bottles are down here. The tray table folds down like so, and it folds out either half or full. But my Sigma lens does not like focusing on it, so here's my photo instead. In the headrest there's a reading light that can be rotated like so. The headrest is in theory adjustable in height, but it does not stay up. Even if you raise it very gently and somehow manage to get it to stay, it falls down immediately when you rest your head against it. This to me was the first indication that Swiss has chosen a poor seat design for their brand new premium economy product. The second questionable choice is the Recline. The seat sits in a hard shell. That means you won't recline into somebody's lap, which is good. But it makes the Recline a lot harder to operate. You cannot just push the seat back with your upper body. To operate the Recline, you have to push the rear button and then pull the seat forward with your calves. This is not easy and definitely not intuitive. The lady in seat 21 Delta was struggling so much that she asked the flight attendant for help. Instead of telling her, the flight attendant asked the passenger to get up. The flight attendant sat down and showed her how to operate the Recline. You can only recline the seat when you're sitting down. That's evidence of non-intuitive design. On the armrest, there's a cover that opens up to nothing. Odd. Swiss, what were you thinking with this seat? There is a little storage space down here under the armrest. It has a thing in the middle. I assumed that it was for keeping my phone upright, but I'm not sure about this design either. To power your devices, you can use the USB port here behind the armrest or the power outlets in front. The ticket price includes food and drinks with and without alcohol. The crew handed out menu cards at the start of the flight. The service begins with olive snacks and drinks. It was really convenient to be able to use both the tray table and the drinks table between the chairs. The meal is served on a single tray with real ceramic plates and metal cutlery. For starters, we get a seasonal salad with vinaigrette and bread. For the main, I picked the Wagyu beef lasagna. Yes, Wagyu beef if you can believe the menu. Maybe a bit of a waste in a lasagna. The cheese plate consisted of Fettner Bergramkäse and a Swiss brie, with Swiss pear bread. The dessert was a Bündner Nusstorte, a nut pie from the canton of Grisons or Graubünden. It was served with vanilla mascarpone cream. Very oddly, only one piece of the cutlery is Swiss branded. That's a strange thing to cut corners on. The meal ends with a coffee, a chocolate praline, and a digestive. The in-flight entertainment system comes with these headphones, which are okay in terms of comfort and noise suppression. There is Wi-Fi on board, which is chargeable, but messaging is free and was good enough for WhatsApp. The lavatory is shared with the other economy class passengers. It's a pretty standard 777 lavatory, but a few details do stand out. For one, I like the nice faux wood finish. The shelf is also nice to have. Overall, this lavatory did not feel cramped, which is great. But we did have a few issues as well. Just before the second meal, one of the lavatories had an overfull bin, and the other lavatory ran out of tissues. Swiss could do a lot more to keep these lavatories tidy. After the meal, it's time to recline, pull up the leg rest, and relax. But now another design flaw emerges. When the leg rest is up, I can barely move my left foot. It may not come across on camera, but this was very uncomfortable, to have your foot trapped like this. Above me, I have additional lights that are controlled from the in-flight entertainment screen. There are no individual air vents up here, another poor design choice by Swiss. The space in the overhead lockers on this 777 is really good, as you'd expect. The premium economy seats come in sets of 2 attached to the same frame. The small divider between the 2 seats gives some sense of privacy, but only on one side. Across the aisle, you're completely exposed. The blanket is soft and comfy, and it was big enough to drape around me. A couple of hours into the flight, I got a bit peckish. One of the crew members was passing by with cups of water, so I asked him if they have any snacks. He checked and brought me back some of those olive snacks from the beginning of the flight. That's all they have, he said. Before arrival, a second small meal is served. It comes with a dessert and ice cream. I chose the red wine, which for some reason was served cold. Swiss always does this. As far as I know, red wine is typically not served cold. This whole second meal was not even mentioned on the menu, so I don't know in detail what it is. After the meal, the crew passed out piping hot disposable hot towels. We have started the descent into Chicago and should be landing in about 30 minutes. We arrived in Chicago 50 minutes ahead of schedule, but then we got stuck on the taxiway waiting for a gate for around 20 minutes. While we were waiting, the captain announced that he had switched off the engines and that this had saved 700 kilograms of fuel. That's cool. I will give you my recommendation in just a moment. If you got value from the video, there are many things you can do to support, like buying a super thanks right here on YouTube or just hitting that like button. Thank you for doing that. Let's talk about the price and the value for money. For the return ticket, Zurich, Chicago, Zurich, I paid 1,149 Swiss francs. That's around $1,270 US. That's not a bad price. You do get more legroom in this seat, though not necessarily more foot room. It's overall just a more comfortable seat than an economy seat. Also take into consideration the second free bag and the upgraded catering, and the premium economy on Swiss is not a bad product at all, especially for a daytime flight like this. I've highlighted many limitations of the seat, but at this price I would book it again. I made it to Chicago. Getting through immigration today took more than 1.5 hours. That is ridiculous. Chicago O'Hare, as a big international airport, should be able to do a lot better than this pathetic level of staffing. This was a really bad experience. I was looking forward to also trying the Swiss Premium Economy product on the return flight, which is an overnight flight back to Switzerland. That did not work out, but that's a story for another day. Hit subscribe to see that video when it's out. The purpose of this flight was to catch the most scenic train in America. Click or tap the screen here to watch that video now. That's the California Zephyr. It took me through the Rocky Mountains and the majestic deserts of the West. Thank you very much for watching Markus Travels, and I will see you in the next video.